Hello, viewers. Kubiando Kithenkin, I'm SB, and welcome back to I Was a Teenage Exocolonist, where I have reconstructed the beginning part of the last episode. But let's not talk to our Faceless here just yet. Since we know approximately what that event's going to be, even if we don't take the other option, I want to hit some of these other question marks out here in Glow, and let's see what these events are like. You come... pardon me. Okay. By the way, the reason there was a little break in the schedule there is because I caught COVID, and it was extremely unpleasant, and I really could not talk or anything for a while there. I am still recovering, so apologies for the sound of my voice and the frequency with which I will go silent. I am having uncontrollable coughing fits, but you will be spared the coughing. But that's, yeah, if I suddenly go quiet for several seconds, that's probably what's happening. Anyway, you come to a dense part of the path where the gnarlwood surrounds you and blocks out the sky and the wormhole above. Long threads that look like hair are hanging down from the trees. Strange, you've never seen this during the rest of the year. You'll have to go through these. Okay, we saw this stuff. Yeah, we saw this stuff last Glow. Alright, well, I was kind of hoping that they would be new events or more interesting events somehow. Looks like we are not so lucky. And actually, there's not very many of them, right? You're amazed at how peaceful it is out here. Yep. I do think that it makes sense to take on another gaze up at the wormhole. Gaze up at the wormhole seems amazing. Yep, we get some stress because stumble over a bit of gnarled root. Absolutely fine, absolutely acceptable. All right, let's go and have the Faceless encounter and then simply not inhale. And then I guess we'll just get back to our normal lives, right? Which is a thing that totally reasonable to do in that situation. I'm all turned around here. Here we go. All right, up here the wormhole seems so close you could touch it. Let's stay and watch the Faceless. I want to see what happens if we just turn around at the last moment here. So I'm gonna approach where it was standing. We're gonna just fast forward through the actual event here. I'm gonna wait. It's gonna take forever. You have to wait so many times. I'm so glad we brought our adorable little hotbye, who makes any duration of waiting totally bearable. Alright, so here is the Faceless, completely spellbound. It leans down, envelops you in its tentacles, each as large as you are, and you breathe in the spores. You feel a beckoning within you, a curious tug somewhere in your ribcage, a yearning you can't describe, and yet, I resist infinity. No, you aren't ready. A small part of you demands to stay here, on this plane of consciousness. You hold your breath and bring your mind back to the present. You let the Faceless touch you softly with its tentacles, until it seems satisfied that you've made your decision. Then it withdraws. As you slowly disconnect from the gentle creature, you can feel its emotions, its story. You understand that it was born like the others of its kind, in a breeding tank below the ground. Although it was sent here to destroy your colony, something changed in it that cannot be changed back. You see again the image of the Faceless staring up at the wormhole, transfixed as you were. It no longer feels the pull of the ley lines, the thumpers, the forces that were used to control it. It is no longer a construct or an avatar, but a free being. It only feels the dance of the wormhole now, and the natural rhythms of life itself. You stand completely still, arrested by the sudden understanding that sweeps over you. The Faceless retreats to the large mound of grasses and bushes at the other end of the plateau. A baby Faceless pokes its head out of the nest, wriggling its tentacles in greeting to its mother. Well, that's adorable. And then I guess we just go home. It's still significant. It's less so than the other version of the event, for sure. And then, of course, you know what time it is. You're heading to bed when the sirens begin to wail, heralding the beginning of the yearly xenofauna attack. Outside your window, you see the soldiers begin to form up. This year, Nem is heading up her own squad. You see her red hair bobbing along with the others as she rushes to defend the walls. Well, I mean, traditionally, we help out, right? Nem looks at you in surprise. Shouldn't, because again, we do this every year. But nods when she sees you're ready to fight. Someone hands you a plas rifle and you join her squad on the walls. You stand shoulder to shoulder with Nem and watch the Xenos mass on the far side of the firebreak. Look at them all, she says darkly. They just keep coming. More and more every year. What are they even waiting for? Why don't they just attack already? She shoots a look at the rest of her squad, all of them Helios, mostly young adults like you, and lowers her voice. I just want to get it over with, you know, she confides in you. These Helios learned to march before they could walk. I want to prove I can handle myself as well as they can. She runs her fingers down the barrel of her plas rifle, where she stenciled the name Kombucha. A lowing from the forest draws your attention back to the enemy line. The wall of animals is approaching in eerie unison, their footsteps drumming a rumbling tattoo across the ground. Nem clutches her rifle tightly. Okay, here goes. The animals approach the wall at a steady pace, but stop short. Instead, they mill around outside the colony, near the garrison. In the eerie silence, you hear the sudden crackle of plas rifle fire, and a flying creature falls to the ground. You hear Security Chief Rhett from his post on the walls, telling his squad to hold their fire. His voice rings through the still, expectant air. The Xenos are just standing there. It's so quiet. The animals appear to be waiting for something. The uncomfortable impasse stretches into minutes, until finally Nem tilts her head like she's hearing orders through her earspeak. Okay, we're just going to attack them? She says, her voice lilting up almost as if it's a question. Her Helio-born squad mates look at her with unsure expressions, but Nem nods. Yeah, okay, to the walls. Open fire. Well, I don't know if I think this is the right plan. But I'm in here and I'm helping, so... we can do a 7, 8, 9 here. I don't really want to do the 8. Actually, if I do this, we can make a straight... Yeah, putting in the 2 multicolored cards. Actually, I could save this, though. Right, we could do an 8, 9, 10. Even better. Let's save the gem for when we actually use the gem card. Honestly, this is still pretty compelling. And then, like, the value is wild. I don't really want to play Stressful Event, you know? This puts us in such an easy, clear position from here. Yeah. So what do we want to do? This is... Okay, if we go like 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. There we go. We can super goal that. This right here is what you want to see. +4, +15, +4 some more. It's a little goofy the way it worked out with the colors, but I'll take a super goal. I'll take a super goal anytime. We're actually getting pretty close to the first combat perk. You and others open fire, joined by other squads at the other points on the walls. The creatures continue to mill around as they're cut down by a hail of crackling plas rifle fire, seemingly unbothered. I feel like we're failing a test right now. It's not until a few minutes pass that the creatures seem to wake up in a sense, breaking from their holding pattern and beginning to batter the walls as usual. Flying creatures begin to soar overhead, landing in the courtyard and attacking from within. You stay on the walls and pick off what you can, trying to keep the creatures from forming a living pyramid to scale the walls. You can hear the battering of their bodies against the gates from here, and the commotion as the gate defenders rally to keep it shut. Governor Lum comes charging up to Nem. I need command of your squad, he says. I'm taking them down to the courtyard to engage the enemy directly. My squad, Nem stammers. She looks conflicted. Lum is the governor and outranks her as a soldier, but he's Lum. His plan is bound to be dangerous, or even suicidal. The rest of the squad are Helioborn, yeah, but they're also teenagers, just like you. Don't you need us up here supporting defenders from the walls? She chances to suggest. Well, I certainly don't obey the governor. So I'm gonna... I don't think I obey the security chief very much either. Do I think that the word of the security chief will matter more to Lum? Honestly, no, I don't. I'm just gonna resist personally. Yeah, we're more useful up here. Lum doesn't look convinced, but your support emboldens Nem. She stands up straighter and hardens her expression. I can't send my people into close combat, she says firmly. We're trained for ranged defense, not melee. The governor looks at your squad mates, but none of them make a move to follow him. He curls his lip in disgust and stalks away. Your squad remains on the wall, defending them against being breached by Xenos and picking off the flying ones before they can land in the courtyard. The gates stay standing, and after an hour, the attack ends as quietly as it began, with the remaining Xenos slinking back into the forest from whence they came. Curious. In the quiet following the battle, the colony comes out of hiding to gather in the courtyard, surveying the damage. Everyone looks weary, but you've survived another year, and with remarkably few casualties. As the gates are secured and people begin to pick through the mass of Xeno bodies, you spot Dis watching from up on the walls. As he meets your eyes from a distance, you wonder how tonight's battle might have gone if you hadn't stopped him from planting that bomb. Yeah, I have a lot of questions about the bomb thing. I'm really hoping that we will be able to talk to him about that. Feels pretty important. All right. Well, we're very nearly there. Game ends at the end of this year, it turns out. No critically important text or anything here. Well, I guess it's about to be our birthday. That will probably trigger something. Nope, nothing to say. Huh. Total obliteration sounds wonderful. No more pain, no more drama, no more emotions, just peace. Honestly, I can't wait. Boy. Dis, I'm worried about you. I am so worried about everyone in so many different ways. Guess what? I brought you a flower. Okay, we're gonna end up in like the 70s with her. That's something. We can have a little chat with... This is an interesting bit of art on this staying cool card. So because our creativity got up to 40. Hey Nomi, you want to make something? Nomi flaps their hand in front of their face. I do, but it's so hot on this planet, don't you think? You shrug. Sure, it's different than living on a climate-controlled spaceship, but you're kind of used to it by now. Nomi snaps their fingers. Wait, we should make something to stay cool. You and Nomi brainstorm all sorts of weird and wonderful ways to stay cool. Sorry there. All sorts of weird and wonderful ways to stay cool. Umbrella hats, sunglasses with funny shapes, giant vats of cooling goop. But it all seems too complicated. Eventually, you just end up doodling on some of Nomi's paper and folding it to make paper fans. Sometimes the best solutions are the most simple. They smile, fanning themselves with their new Turbo Girl Hyperjet Transform fan. Yeah, that's something. Oh, I didn't actually give her a gift. Here, I know you love these. Okay, let's make sure that we give them the thing here. There we go. We've excited Rex yet again. You're walking through the courtyard looking for Rex when something moves quickly at the corner of your vision. Well, I have all of the vision in the world, so I duck out of the way. You skillfully dodge the Frisbee that had been heading straight for your head. The disc clatters harmlessly to the ground a few meters from you. Rex jogs over and picks up the Frisbee. "Hey, Owen," he hails you. "Sorry about that. I'm playing catch with Nougat, and, well..." He elbows you in the side, grinning. "She's got a hell of an arm on her. Guess she used to be big into sports ball. Good thing I'm so high energy, right?" "When I'm not working with the construction crew, I've been helping take care of the kids," Rex continues, spinning the Frisbee on his fingertip. "Nougat says she misses the creche. You know, the Heliopause doesn't have one. Instead of all playing together all the time, we stayed in our discrete family units when we were kids. I'm an only child, so, gosh, I would have loved your creche." "Hey," you hear Nougat yelling. "Throw the Frisbee," she pouts as she runs up to Rex. "Stop talking to your girlfriend." "Girlfriend?" Rex exclaims in mock affront. "What I do with Samhain is none of your business, Squirt." Rex grabs Nougat around her middle and zooms her around like a spaceship. Nougat screams in delight, kicking and flailing, until Rex sets her back down on her feet. "All right, it's your turn to run," Rex instructs. "Go on, get." Nougat takes off, yelling at the top of her little lungs. Nougat is extremely adorable. "Man, kids, am I right?" Rex says, standing with arms akimbo. "They're great, though. I'm glad there's so many of them here. There's always someone to play with." "How about you?" Rex asks. "Do you want kids someday?" My dude, I don't fucking, I'm really not sure yet. There's so much going on. I have not had time to think about this. "Hey, that's fair," Rex says smoothly. "You shouldn't have any if you're not sure, right? But at least in the colony, you know they're going to have a pretty good life." "Yeah, I guess so. I'm not 100% certain of that even. How about you? Let's change the subject." "Oh, yeah, obviously, yes," Rex answers immediately. "I want like 1 billion kids. Every kid in the colony can be my kid, absolutely. I don't even have to be their dad. You know, who cares about like genetics or whatever? He looks over to Nougat, who's waving her arms agitatedly, waiting for Rex to throw the Frisbee. Rex does, and boy does it go far. Nougat takes off running again as it soars over her head. "I just want there to be kids everywhere," Rex finishes his thought. "Lots of kids around means the community's healthy, and everyone's at peace, and people are optimistic about the future." "Plus, kids are just so great," Rex adds. "I love making silly faces at babies, and crawling around on all fours with toddlers, and wrestling with bigger kids and helping them with school and stuff. It's fun." Rex scratches the back of his head. "On the Helia, we were kind of expected to stop playing so much when we started the education program. Any playing we did was supposed to be like sports and endurance, real future soldier kind of shit. Sometimes I wish I could get a do-over on it," Rex says. "Like, if I could go back to before everyone cared about their big guns and their big dicks." He makes a wanking motion. "You kids don't care about that kind of stuff. They're just innocent, pure of heart, you know? They don't have all these..." He gestures roundly to his own head. "Thoughts, I guess?" It is at this moment that the Frisbee reasserts itself as an equal participant in the conversation. Rex's attention goes to it immediately, his ears perking up as he leaps up and catches it before it can menace you again. "Haha," he laughs, his thoughtful mood broken. "That was close. I'm going to go back to playing with Nougat before she hurts someone. Nice talking to you, Samhain." Yeah, I guess I get where he's coming from. It means a lot of positive things if there's a lot of kids around. I don't know how much I want to contribute directly to that. "Hey, pretty sure I have at least one egg." "Indeed. Here, have this egg." "How are we doing with you?" 89. Oof. Okay. What other kinds of bizarre shit can possibly happen in this final year? I mean, what do we want to do here? I guess is an important question. How do we spend the remainder of the time? I kind of want to get to Persuasion 33, although I think since we're doing this second playthrough, that character is going to end up with a ton of empathy and persuasion. So I guess we're going to see what that perk is no matter what. Maybe it'd be worth it to do a little bit of combat training just to pick up the first combat perk, because that seems like something that's going to be a little bit more outside of the second version of the character's natural. Like, I want to know what that perk is. Plus, with how attuned we are to gaining red skill points, it probably won't take very much effort. Yeah, let's do a little defense training. There's so many people training in self-defense today that we have to break out into stations. What do you want to work on today? Capoeira seems like... I mean, I guess with all this toughness, I probably have some of the physical conditioning necessary for that. I was going to say, this seems like a very tricky thing to just leap into. But yeah, you know what? Actually, I'm curious about this. The Vert Space helmet training. You go over to where Nomi is flailing around wearing a Vert Space helmet and load up your own training program. Reality fades out of your awareness, replaced by a rolling neon landscape and a thumping bass beat. Shapes start flying toward you, forcing you to dodge and weave around them to the beat of the music. You work up a sweat lunging and throwing your body around the mat, but it barely feels like work at all. Okay, it's just Beat Saber. Beat Saber's pretty rad. You feel moderately more aware of your surroundings. Okay, well, what I did not need was bonus perception. So, we did not get any of our extra stat gain cards, which is a little bit of a shame. Do I want to throw a crystal cluster at this? I mean, we're going to crush the challenge. Almost doesn't seem like a thing worth worrying about. I'm gonna go ahead and do this. I'm hoping for, yeah, there we go. +1 skill on a challenge win. 4, 5. This could be a 6 if we're willing to play. This is our 8. Oh no, wait, sorry. There's actually, yeah, there's a bunch of gems here already. If I put this down, okay, it overrides this. I was hoping it would make the base value 5, and then the, modified text would still be modifying. Well then, I mean, we absolutely could just break the, we could just break the straight, right? I don't know. This is fine. Yeah, I forget the value being equals means we get a pair out of it as well, which then gets the bonus from the hot buy, so it's actually super valuable. Value is wild is really, really powerful with these pets. I'll go ahead and just take that. Could have gotten a 64, damn. Well, that gets us our combat perk anyway. Also, 1 point of positive reputation with Vase. Boo. As usual for this time of year, your dreams have been more vibrant and invasive. You have trouble distinguishing dream from reality during the day, and you dread falling asleep at night. Huh. How did that hop eye get into your bedroom? This is interesting. I can wake myself out of this dream. This is an option from a past life, despite the fact that we've not seen this scene before. I'm going to follow it. You chase it out your balcony door and find yourself on a thickly wooded path, the mushwood pressing in close on every side. The light is weird here, pink and glittering, casting teal shadows. The hop eye disappears down a hole in the ground, and without thinking, you dive after it, squeezing your shoulders to fit through. You tumble into a cave, beautiful and surreal, shimmering with a light that seems to come from within. When you take a step forward, granules of pink sand crunch underfoot. The cave opens out to a forest that seems lifted from a fairy tale. The sunlight beams through breaks in the trees, illuminating a path of mushroom-ringed stepping stones that lead you to a small cottage. You spot the hop-eye hurrying further down the path. I mean, I feel like I want to visit the cottage, I think. This is interesting, though. You don't meet anyone in the cottage, but it isn't empty. There is something alive in the old green crate at the back of the cottage. It's banging furiously, jiggling the latch, demanding to be let out. You lift the lid and find yourself falling into the empty box. You land hard on solid ground, your breath whooshing from you. It's hot here, impossibly hot. The twin suns beat down on you, burning your skin on contact, and the air is almost painful to breathe. In all directions stretches a barren wasteland of dead trees, like bones puncturing the dry skin of the planet. You rise from the dusty, cracked earth and begin to walk, stumbling over the bones of unknown creatures. You don't know where you're walking, only that the horizon doesn't change. The red sky just stretches overhead like a great bowl of heat pressing down on you. It's weird that it's a bowl. A great roar shakes you, and you turn to see a chimeric nightmare, a manticore, but with Governor Lum's face. He towers over you from a podium, his claws clacking and his tail thrashing as he proselytizes. "We, primeval forests felling," he chants. "We, the rivers stemming, piercing deep the mines within. We, the surface broad surveying. We, the virgin soil upheaving." Overhead, the sky is streaked with smoke. You hear a rumbling in the distance. No, I'm not fleeing this. I would absolutely fight Lum, even if he did have a manticore body. You plant your legs and refuse to look away from the beast. With a yell from behind you, Mars appears and swings a sword made of light at the Lum abomination. Its head rolls across the dirt, but it continues to speak. You turn from the scene and walk away, feeling the memory of it cling to you as you push and claw your way through to another reality. Interesting. You stumble forwards into a dark, glowing forest. Blessedly cool air brushes your cheeks, thick with moisture and making your face wet as if you've been crying. The path wends upwards, flanked by humanoid figures carrying candles. Some are wearing robes, some armor, some lab coats and enviro suits and formal wear. Some are elderly, some barely 10 years old. All turn to look at you, and you realize with a jolt, they're you. Every single one of them is you. You see yourself reflected in their eyes as they gaze upon you dispassionately, a line of possibilities stretching out as far as you can see. The hop-eye crouches between the ranks and gazes solemnly out as you pass. You walk steadily upward, feeling their unflinching gaze follow you. Overhead, the wormhole hangs in the sky like an overripe fruit, bending the heavy branch of space and time towards you. It's so close. You feel as if you could touch it. You stretch your hand out, seeking. And you wake up. Milky quiet pours through your window, flakes of bromide snow piling up against the glass. You feel as tired as when you went to bed. It's your birthday. You're 19 years old. Only one more year as a teenager. Okay, blue skill increases reduced. Having a hard time doing anything. 'Cause my brain. You know, 'cause of how my brain is. Okay, there's new cards in the depot. So yeah, there's a variety of these, like, what do you call it? A variety of these shop enhancing perks, and it took me forever to find the first one, but it was entirely reasonable to suspect that a player would find a way to spend kudos before we did. It's like we threaded the perfect path between them all. Hey, Nem, what's up? Something's off with Nem today. You can tell just from watching her train that she's moving more slowly and seems distracted. Every so often, she breaks form to stare at Face, who's working with a group of trainees on the other side of the garrison. Her unit leader singles her out and chastises her, gesturing for her to take a break and get her head on straight. Nem scowls as she slinks over to the rest area, where you hand her a water bottle. Hey, you, she says, shooting you a little flicker of a smile as she takes a drink. What's going on? Face isn't talking to me, Nem replies, sighing heavily as she recaps the bottle. It's been 2 days and he just acts like I'm not even here. I've tried to talk to him and he just says he needs time to think. We got into it about how much time you and I spend together. He thinks you like me, and I told him it's not like that. We're just friends, but... Yeah, but of course he's, like, viciously jealous. Nem exhales noisily and scrubs the heel of her palm into her eyes. Maybe the problem is just that he doesn't know you that well, she says. He doesn't trust you around me, that's all. I do kind of want to say he's a scumbag, and she's not going to react well to that, right? But, like, I don't want to fix their relationship. I want to drive them apart. I'm worried that do you want me to talk to him leads in the direction of helping them fix their relationship problems. I'm going to try... Oh, gosh. I wish I had my my brain thing on right now. Not that... I mean, this option obviously doesn't have any persuasion attached to it, but there might be persuasion. We're obviously not saying this. We're obviously not making a move on her. I'm going to say he's a scumbag. I mean, we've seen him. We've seen how he's treated people we care about, how he treats Cal, how he treats Rex. She may or may not be sensitive to arguments based in how he treats Cal, because she's gotten pretty weird about Cal herself. I'm going to say it, though. He's a scumbag, Nem. Persuasion 30 or greater, or empathy 30 or greater. Oh, you're kidding me. We just have... I kind of want to load a save and do this with the brain training equipped. Nem's head whips toward you, shocked. What? How could you say that, Sawan? Yeah, I know how he gets sometimes, but he's still my boyfriend. Well, I just think he's not right for you. That's it, Nem says incredulously. He's not right for me. What do you know, Sawan? You're just jealous of what we have. I know he's kind of rough around the edges, she admits, but he's a good guy underneath, I promise. He only gets mean about stuff because he cares so much about keeping everyone safe. Oh, well, I don't believe that. And we can't. Can we talk about you? Okay, hold on. So if we swap out our gear, let's take off the medallion for a second, put on our brain trainer. And then on top of that, unequip the Freaky and put on Mars's jacket that we borrowed. Now I have 63 persuasion. Can we talk about you and Vase? Also, I guess I can train with her. Hurting a friend is not even a good card at this point. Can we talk about you and Vase? Nem's eyes dart around as if looking for someone before she gives you a strained smile. What about him? He's a trash bag in a man suit? Okay, so you do get to try this. You do get to come at this again. I'm really happy that there is an opportunity for this. Listen, the way he treats you is not healthy. Nem's eyebrows furrow. What do you mean, Sawan? Well, do you like when he just accuses you of stuff all the time? Nem frowns. No, obviously. What does that have to do with anything? Well, I'm saying the problem isn't you, it's him. You tell her she shouldn't have to constantly prove herself to Vase. I've never thought of it that way, Nem replies. It's like, we have this argument all the time. He gets mad because he thinks I was talking to someone too long, or because I said something that set him off. And then when you talk to him about it, well, he gets really upset that I'm upset with him, and then I have to apologize and reassure him I love him, and it's always this whole thing. Okay. This is definitely, this feels familiar. I think it would be very easy to just be like, this is a silly, sort of underwritten video gamey conflict. Like, who would actually have this kind of relationship problem? Who would not be able to see the pattern? But as a person who was in such a relationship for maybe some time, it happens. You can be remarkably blind to it from the inside. She sighs. I'm just so tired of it. I don't know what else to do. I don't know if there's anything else I can do. You deserve better. Like a lot better. Nem wipes her eyes. I don't know what to think, she says. I'll talk to him about it and see what he says. He deserves a chance to explain himself, but I don't know if he'll be able to. She gives you a quick hug. Thank you for talking to me about this, Owen. You're my best friend on the whole planet. So I'm assuming we only even had that option because of the fact that our friendship was so high, that our relationship is so close. Probably. And then, okay, we gifted everybody stuff for the season. So what do we want to do now? We could go out. We should probably go talk to Sim. I guess that, there's a question of like, do we want to try to earn any other perks or anything before we do? Let's get the other persuasion perk. Let's get that first persuasion perk. Oh, this is going to be... I'm going to put my... Sorry, I know I was just swapping these. I'm going to put my persuasion gear back on here just in case. Honestly, I'm a little worried that persuasion may not be the problem we're about to have. My combat skill's up to 48 as well, though. On your way to the garrison, you pass by a few young soldiers speaking in hushed tones. They seem to be commiserating over Vace's attitude in training today. Oh boy, you might know what this is about. You spot Vace overseeing a group of soldiers navigating an obstacle course. Pick it up, come on, he snaps. You approach carefully, and he acknowledges you with a glance before going back to staring morosely at the trainees. Do I need to be... I shouldn't have talked to him. I should have just not talked to him. Well, he's not going to appreciate me saying why so glum, chum, and I also do not appreciate me saying it. What crawled up your ass? There we go, re-zeroing our friendship. Vace scowls and crosses his arms. Nothing. Just a bunch of bullshit. All right, fine, be that way. I will. Vace glowers and goes back to ignoring you. Okay, so you can only sort of talk him through what's going on with them if you're already significantly his friend. That makes sense. Okay. Let's get some yellow stats because we're bad at getting blue stats right now. We are not going to get this reasoning gain. You're studying the topic of how justice has been mediated by various legal systems, culminating in a mock trial based off of a legal system of your own design. You are supposed to use your broad knowledge to design the best system, but no one in class can resist adding their own bizarre rules, like not being able to use certain words or having to beat your accuser in a foot race before you're allowed to defend yourself. It's good fun, but not exactly a shining moment in the history of justice. Oh, you know what? I was going to go talk to... what do you call it? I was going to go talk to Mars about the dream. I totally forgot. All right, it's fine. So yeah, that's just not going to fit together in a particularly exciting way. Do we have a... I don't know that we have a good series here. This is going to end up being a 4. So we could do this and then just also play that as a 6. Oh, right. We don't actually want to gain... We don't want to gem. That being the case, we wanted to do Nomi's enthusiasm then, right? Because we can get a little, actually, it's not representing... No, I mean, this is fine. All right, a mere 2 persuasion. Yeah, I don't know if we'll be allowed to talk to Mars about our dream, but it sounds like the kind of thing where maybe we could convince her that it was prophetic. Maybe she can kill Lum with a sword. We have nothing to... No. Yeah, alright. No options for us here. So I guess let's just wrap up the season. And then we'll spend some time over the rest of the year going outside and putting stuff together. Is there a better place to gain persuasion? I don't think there is, right? You get creativity here. You get empathy there. Yeah, this will have to do. This month, you're learning about how people on Earth didn't used to have nanoprinters, and everything they owned had to be made from... I feel like we've seen this text before. Maybe we have. So I don't know that it matters too much what all we do here. I mean, that's pretty bad. I guess so there's no good reason for us not to play the other 8. We can't get 6, 7, 8. I mean, whatever. This is fine. It's good enough. Costs us a tiny bit of money. All right, 1 more month of that, and we will have some persuasion. We will have a persuasion perk. And I guess probably an overthrow of the governor is off the table at this point, since there's so little game time left. I wonder if you can, or if it's just... if Lum is just set up to be like a stressful thing, like a dude who is a problem. I got something for you, and it's a different kind of food. Okay, she's less enthused about that. Nomi, do you want to make something? Yeah, we can make something again. Multicolor cards are pretty good. You want to make something? You know I do, Nomi exclaims. I've had this idea in my head for months. I want to build something huge, and I need your help. Okay, extra creativity, not exactly what I was looking for. We are about to max out our creativity, though, which I was not even thinking about. Nomi walks you through their plan to craft their biggest thing yet, a massive dilly pillar float that you can carry on your shoulders, using mushwood sticks to puppet it around and make it look like it's dancing. It's a huge hit, especially for the younger kids. You get a workout, and you get to make something beautiful. Nomi, it is fun to be friends with you. Here, have some shiny crystals. Hey, Rex. I brought you more logs. Also hugs. Logs and hugs. Okay. You find Mars frowning over a textbook on her hollow. She flips through the pages with growing disgust, until finally she gestures angrily to dismiss the screen and then drags her hands down her face. Ah, she exclaims. People totally suck. You slide into the seat next to Mars, and she sighs. I told my dads about my plan to get the adults to adopt Kudos as a way to encourage the arts, and they got really weird about it. Like, they think it's a good idea, but then they told me I should read up about Earth's history. So I did, and you know what I found out? People suck. The whole reason we left Earth was because trading money for stuff was a bad idea. It made a few people rich and everyone else poor, and it destroyed all the culture, and people fought and killed each other over it. By the time our parents left Earth, almost everyone worked super hard and was super poor, while like 100 people barely worked at all and owned private spacecraft. That's so dumb. This colony is the closest humans have come to income equality in thousands of years, but we don't have any passion. And Earth's history is full of people with passion who end up turning themselves into supervillains while everyone else starves, Mars says, crossing her arms. Is that all we're capable of, really? She looks at you intently and puts her hand over her heart. I'm a passionate person, Samhain, she says. Is being a despot all I'm capable of? I don't think so. I don't think we have any reason to think that that's all she's capable of. I'm going to say to her that there's nothing wrong with passion. Also, I definitely don't think like separation from the economic incentive has anything to do with a loss of passion. Nothing drives the passion out of people quite like capitalism. Mars purses her lips. I agree, but no one can be right 100% of the time. If I really am going to run this place one day, I can't be surrounded by yes men, she scolds you. I need you to have a little backbone, Samhain, or I'll end up exactly like an Earth politician. Well, I was telling you what I believe to be the truth, though. That wasn't yes-manning you. There has to be a middle ground between austerity and inequality, Mars continues. I don't want to have everything while everyone else has nothing. Like, yes, obviously I want to colonize this stupid rock, Mars continues. I want massive cities and glass skyscrapers and flying cars. I want to not have to fight off aliens every year. I want to pave over all these scungy pollen trees and kill the stupid bugs. I want air conditioning. I just want everyone to have everything. Even the stuff that the adults think doesn't matter. We can't live like animals just because of the boogeymen of our past. One day I'm going to be running this place, Mars says. Just you wait, Samhain. I'm not going to let us fall into the same patterns we did on Earth. We have to take care of each other and master this planet. But we also can't forget what makes life worth living. Luxury. What do you think, Samhain? Mars asks. Do you think I'm on the right track? I mean, I think it's good to want to improve everybody's lives, certainly. Look, how do we avoid the past mistakes? Maybe that's a good place to focus. Well, I mean, Mars starts, then furrows her brow in thought. I mean, I guess I thought because we're already starting out equal, people would just be better? She frowns. You're right. It seems like wishful thinking, doesn't it? Well, at least I have you to bring me back to Earth. I mean, for Tumna. Mars smiles and clasps your shoulder. Thank you, Samhain. You always think of things I don't. I really appreciate that about you. Mars is like rad. Mars is I was a little worried Mars was going to be like the annoying spoiled girl stereotype, but actually Mars is rad. Okay, found ourselves a Xeno egg for Nem next month. So how much engineering is this? 73? Well, the engineering class is the robot lab is plus engineering plus creativity, right? Yeah, so we could try to max that out. I feel like we're going to end up wasting a bunch of creativity here, but I do want to see the persuasion perk. So I guess let's go ahead and hit this. It's kind of ironic that you're learning humanities from a robot woman. You mention this to congruence, but with infinite patience, she replies that she is an artificial intelligence and neither a robot nor a woman. That's okay. That's very cute. I have not actually seen the last season of The Good Place, and I actually was just thinking about it this morning because of a thing, and is just a sort of a weird, funny bit of synchronicity to have that show up here. Well. I mean, that gets us there, and it gets us a bonus skill. Although, sadly, I think it'll be a bonus creativity and not like we won't get a bonus persuasion out of it. But this is fine. And we're going to earn 10 extra kudos. Hooray! Yeah, 7 creativity, 2 persuasion. A little bit unbalanced, that gain. Okay, all your yellow cards get +1 in yellow challenges. That's pretty significant. We are at 100 stress, and it is time to sleep. Let's go hang out in the bar area, probably. Yeah, I think that makes sense. Actually, we should check in on Dad. Hey, Dad, how you doing? Okay. Dad's just really in love with Mom and absolutely fine in the pollen. Which, of course, I will personally take credit for, over and over again. Alright, let's just relax in the lounge. You're relaxing after hours when Aunt Anne pops her head into the lounge. The kitchen, she announces in an artificially sweet voice, is looking for someone to help with part-time cooking duties. Someone young, someone responsible, someone organized. Someone, she stares pointedly at the teens in the room, who might have too much free time on their hands. Yeah, I'm organized enough for that, probably. She bustles over to you. Oh, you'll be perfect, Samhain, she says, hugging you. Then, loudly to the others in the room, she declares, I'm glad somebody around here is responsible enough to put in their share of work. Everyone else ignores her, shifting awkwardly. No one wants to disappoint their auntie. Aunt Anne gestures toward the nearby cafeteria and tells you to come by next week so she can show you the ropes. Okay, so we earned ourselves a new kind of job. Gosh, do I want to lose an unchangeable 4? It being unchangeable has actually been a pain for us on a number of occasions, and yellow cards in general are just not very good in our deck. I think I'll go ahead and drop that. What does cooking do? Creativity and empathy. Okay. Well, our empathy is pretty poor. Do I want to... I do kind of want to cap out creativity as well before doing anything else. So there's very little value in gaining more persuasion, I think. We'd also be gaining a point of reasoning, which almost certainly doesn't matter. The engineering probably doesn't matter either, though. Yeah. I guess it doesn't super matter how we do this. The creativity is secondary here. We might actually only get 2 points from repair robots, so I guess let's study humanities just to make sure that we get there. You learn the language you speak. Esperanto is a conlang, or constructed language. It was designed to be easy for foreign speakers, at least European ones, to learn, in the hope that it would bring people together. The word Esperanto means one who hopes. Oh boy, okay, I have some particular feelings about Esperanto and the silliness of it that we're just gonna ignore those for the moment. Sure, give me some 6s. I guess there's no point in doing that if we're going to set it to 6, right? So give me some 6s, and then also... That's going to be a casual 83. Just a simple little 83. There was a 93 available. I do not care. 83 is sufficient. Alright, what is the final creativity perk? Oh, you can give gifts every month instead of once a season. Interesting. I don't know if I think that that is very relevant to our situation right now. Here, I brought you this egg, and I may yet bring you future eggs. Eggs from the future. Because you cannot hide secrets from the future with eggs. What's up, Nomi? Where you'd normally find Rex and Nomi playing together, you find only Rex. You ask him where Nomi is, and he shrugs. Sorry, I don't know. They mentioned they were kind of under the weather. They're probably leveling their Legends of Avmar character. You could try messaging them on their holopalm. You thank Rex and go back to your room. You get comfortable on your bed and load up Nomi's private Legends of Avamar server. Back on Earth, there would have been thousands of people playing this game, but now it's just a brave few nerds. Just as Rex said, Nomi's logged onto one of their characters, and they send you a message. Hey, sorry if you were looking for me. I feel super crummy, so I'm going to spend some time in Avamar. I'm leveling an alt right now. If you make a new Kara, I can help you with the first group of quests. What kind of character do you want to play? I feel like a rogue is appropriate. Rogue and warrior both feel appropriate to the character we built here. I think rogue first. You log into the game with your new character after spending a few minutes having a minor existential crisis over their name. It can happen. You eventually give up and name them after your... It can happen. Nomi is waiting for you with their new character, Mydreus, an elven archer with long red hair. They jump a few times in your general direction. Standard MMO hello. Your character is so cute. Really? We feel like this is a flirt? Gosh, I wonder how many people in my various guilds have thought I was flirting with them. I'm just going to say let's play. I can't even pronounce that. That's cute. You do the first few quests with Nomi. Their character's a little more powerful than yours, so there's lots of time to chat. Nomi keeps up a running banter about your adventures, typing as if they're speaking for their character. Fear my bow, meddlesome creatures. The forest will miss not your presence. It's hard not to notice how much more serious and well-spoken Nomi seems when they're writing in character instead of speaking. You didn't know they had it in them. Do you play along? I think that this character, at this point in this character's life, with all the creativity and everything, forsooth, I do. You type back, "Thou shalt not see thine death approacheth from the shadows." That's a little, all right. It's a little overwrought, but it's fine. You play for a bit until you have to stop to sell your loot at the vendor, marveling at the accessories you'll be able to buy when you have some more gold. Nomi opens a trade window with you and plunks a necklace into it. It's one of the expensive ones, and a huge increase in stats. Galactic. I thought it would look good on you. That is flirting. I do believe that Nomi is flirting with us. I do not think that we are returning their affection here. We kind of have a thing going on already, and Nomi's like a little sister. Little sibling, I guess. Accept it without saying anything. Hopefully that's not that weird. You and Nomi battle your way through a Knoll encampment and stand face to face with the big bad Graz Magepelt. Nomi readies their bow. It's no hogger. All right, it is a 106. This is not going to be too bad over the course of 3 things here. So a +3 bonus to straights. This could become a 10. We have we have enough value as wild stuff that it's not really going to be that hard to construct a... Yeah, like what if we do value as wild here? We can get that big straight and the 2 of a kind. I think I would rather actually, if we're gonna make this wild colored anyway, let's spend the yellow one instead of the blue one. And then actually going to be remarkably challenging to build a straight out of this. Do I just not bother? Right, because taking another 29 off of this leaves us with the need to get 44. I just don't think we're in a very good spot here. Yeah, okay, well, we can at the very least go... Oh, no, winning the championship is not going to let us go 6, 7, 8. This turns into a 10. So we have 2 10s and a 13. Like, yeah, we're going to have to do some modifications. I mean, there's a straight. Except I break it here. But if we're just going to do a 4 straight, actually, why don't we set those over there and then just drop a 13 in here? Yeah, good enough for me. A little bit of MMO combat experience, which, as we know, translates directly to real life. You stand victorious over Graz's mage pelt. When you click out of the loot window, you have a message waiting from Nomi. Our bond is greater than any evil that may befall this land. The power of true love conquers all. Oh, they might, Nomi sends you a kissing emoji, then a string of question marks. Okay, yeah, they are actually, like, really into, sorry, wait, what? Don't be weird, OMG, haha, it's just in the game. Yeah, but it's not, though, right? Like, it's definitely not. Look, Nomi, I just want to... Here's the thing. I really wish we had discussed our relationship with Tangent in some more detail. Like, as far as the rules go, as far as what everybody's expectations in that situation are. And let me tell you something. As a person who has had opportunity to enter into a variety of relationships with self-possessed autistic women lately, it is a thing that happens. It is usually like at the beginning of the new stage of the relationship, there is a nice long talk about like what everybody wants and what everybody will feel in various situations. I don't know if Tange would be upset with me getting flirty with Nomi, but I do know that if Tange does get upset at me, she is capable of engineering a plague to kill both me and Nomi with there being no evidence of any foul play. So I'm just going to say this doesn't feel right. Okay. They seem to get it. Hopefully we haven't hurt their feelings. You log off the game and open a chat window with Nomi. What do you say? That was really fun. Don't make it weird. Don't like make it extra weird. If they're willing to just move on, just move on. That was really fun. Maybe I'll use it for inspiration for my manga. I sure don't like anyone like that. OMG. Yeah, okay. Sometimes it feels like everyone's just a big ball of hormones here. Like all of a sudden everyone cares about who's doing smutty stuff. And I'm just sitting here like, yuck. Ooh, okay, well, I mean, do you think you might be interested someday? By the way, don't do this. If somebody in your life is even saying what seems like might be like ace or arrow tendencies, do not tell them, oh, well, you just haven't met the right person. This is the thing I've heard from multiple ace and arrow friends. It's like you just, at a certain point, you've heard this enough times in your life, and it would be great to never hear it again. And all of them are past that point. Do you think you might be interested someday? Okay. Sometimes it's like, okay, I might be interested in it someday, but I think I'd really have to like someone first, Yeah, who knows? I don't want to yeah, like maybe or maybe not. Nomi's good out here. I'm not really thinking about it right now. I just can't imagine liking someone that much. Or them liking me that much. Ha ha ha. I cannot fucking tell at all how many layers of deflection we're working under. Sometimes it's easier to talk about this stuff when I get to pretend to be someone else, you know? Because, like, that could have been a lot of deflection, or it could have been Nomi just role playing and also Nomi's, like, arrow, or who knows? They are an enigma, and I am fine with it remaining that way unless they want to explain themselves to us further. And with that, I think we've earned a little rest. I'm feeling exhausted. That's going to be it for us for today. Thank you all so much for watching and for bearing with me through the illness and this recovery period and whatnot. When you come back next time, I think there's a really good chance we're going to finish this character's whole journey. I don't know. Momentous things are on the horizon. So come back next time for that, and we'll see you then.